So far, nothing.
Okay.
But still, I have to try few more. Maybe when I try, I will know that whether I have doubts or not.
No problem. Take your time. Take
Okay,
your
thank
time.
you.
Next batch will be anyway going on. So even if this completes, right? So there is
Mm-hmm.
nothing to, right? I mean, so worry. So of course, this is not yet completed. So even if this completes, I mean, you can join in that. So that can also be done. Okay,
Okay, thank you so much.
no problem. So here, so I'll create some sample charts here, simple charts. So visualizations, in fact, so that I mean, you can go ahead. Okay, I'll go with the line chart this time, so that we'll see what dashboard is. Right. So for that, just casually creating some charts. So not a okay. So you can start creating dashboard by clicking here a new dashboard or by clicking here. So both are same. So you can click here or you can click there. So either ways it is same dashboard. Now here what all the sheets you have created in the current session will be available for the dashboard. So what all the sheets you have created in the current session will be available for the dashboard. So these are all the sheets which are available in the current session. So I can create dashboard on top of them. I want to use a sheet which is not developed in this session, or I want to connect to a dashboard which is not there here. So not a problem. We can use the action filters to connect to them. So not a big deal. But you can even copy paste a sheet here. So you can always copy paste a sheet here and connect to that. So that's not a problem. So that can also be done. So either ways it is same. So here what you are seeing here is, so you are seeing all the sheets developed in the current session. Here if you are seeing horizontal and vertical are called as layout containers, and remaining things, that is text, image, web page, blank, are called as dashboard components, because they will be part of your dashboard when you develop them. So when you develop them, so they will be part of your dashboard. So that's why they are called as dashboard components. Whereas horizontal and vertical are called as layout containers. Okay, so these two are layout containers and these are all right. So dashboard components. So that's how it is. So now, so here you are seeing the sheets here, and whenever I double click on them, so it will come and sit here, but it will be tiled. Tiled means fixed. Floating means moving around. What exactly is tiled? How exactly floating? So I'll show you that. No problem. Okay. So now, so what I'll do is I'll show you the default behavior. That is, first I'll double click. So then we will see what will happen. Okay. So first I'll do the default thing. So whenever you double click on any sheet, it will come and sit here. So that's the default thing. So now, so if you see here, what happened here exactly is, since I had a filter for that sheet already here only, right? I had a filter for that sheet here, right? You are seeing it here, right? So that filter you are seeing in the sheet. Okay. So by default it came up. And what happened here exactly? By default, whenever you add a sheet, by default, sheet will go into horizontal layout container and filters legends will go into vertical layout container. So sheets will go into horizontal layout containers and filters, that is these things, are under vertical layout container. So I will double click on one more thing so that you can see clearly here. So here one sheet, and here filter. Okay. So how we know that these are in horizontal layout container, these are in vertical layout container, such kind of things. So you will get to know that if you click on layout here. So if you click on layout here you will see an option here. So see there. So I'm telling you a lot of things, but this is what will prove all of that. Sheets, sheet 1, 2, 3, right? Under tiled, under horizontal layout container. Under tiled, under horizontal layout container. Filter, legends, such kind of things are under vertical, right? So under vertical layout container. So you can see that clearly, and everything is tiled. Tiled means you cannot change its position or width. So by seeing this, you can say that. So tiled means you cannot change its position or right size. So you can see here, so both are deactivated. Okay, but that's not completely true. So I'll show you how to change its width. Okay, so no problem. But as of now, you can't do it. Tiled means that. So I'll just change the look and feel like this, just for a better. Okay, so whenever you change the sheet, of course, in the dashboard, you will directly see it. Since we have not yet saved it to anywhere, right? So now, so this is the default behavior. So sheets will go into horizontal layout container, right? So filters legends will go into vertical layout container. So that is how it is. So sheets will go into horizontal layout container and filters legends will go into vertical layout container. That is how it is. Okay, so that's how it is. So this is default behavior. And what I did, I just double clicked on each one of them, right? Each one of them. I'll remove this dashboard. You need not double click. You can drag and drop also. And while dragging and dropping, you can place it exactly. Okay. So like this, see, it's not that you should keep it only this way or that way, right? Only one above, right? One below. So there is nothing rules like that. You can place it however you want. No problem at all. Okay. So in horizontal layout container or vertical layout container, you can drag and drop like this and place it however you want. And what exactly tiled is? Tiled means generally, right, as I told you, position and size cannot be changed. But it's not true. So here you can change the size, but you can increase the width like this if you want. And if you want, you can increase the height or right. So this one also. But you will not have a corner arrow mark. So corner arrow mark means for each sheet you will get a corner arrow mark later on when I click on floating, which is not there now. Okay, so that will come later. And you cannot move it right and place it exactly where you want, such kind of things with the tile. Only with the floating you can do it. So this is tiled and horizontal layout container by default. And so you can place it anyhow you want. So as I showed you. And here you are seeing an icon called as go to sheet. So here you are seeing an icon called as go to sheet. There it is, and here also it is go to sheet. So go to sheet is here and go to sheet is here also. So both the places it is there. Go to sheet. So what I'll do here is, so I'll go here. So you can see go to sheet here also. That means the moment you click on it, it will go to the sheet. Only for developers. Okay. So go to sheet. Next thing, of course, duplicate sheet is there. Create a copy paste of it. Fit is there. Fit means, of course, standard. So fitting the width, right? So I'll do a small change to show you something. For example, so you added sheets like this. So now if you see here, there is a scroll bar, right? So I'll select that sheet. I don't want scroll bar. I want that to be fit in this height itself. You can go there and say fit and height or entire view. So however you want. Now you see there is no scroll bar. So that's how it is. Okay. So fit. So fit height or fit entire view. Okay. Next is title. Title is name. So you can change it always. Give a meaningful title always. Caption is description about the chart. So you can see the description here. So description about the chart. Okay. So that is caption. Next thing, of course, is right. That's caption. Next is filters. So filters, if you see here, by default, if you have added the filter, that filter will come into the dashboard by default. By default, if you have added the filter in the sheet, so it will come into the dashboard by default. For example, I want to add a filter in the dashboard directly. I want to add a filter in the dashboard directly. How can I do that? Very simple, very easy. So here you can see here sum of sales. So by clicking on that, so you can add it. So no problem at all. Okay. So you can go there and just say, right. So add filter. So sum of sales. So that's how it is. So click on that. So you saw that here sales filter came up. So you can add a filter in the dashboard directly, but only for the fields which are already there in the chart. Since this contains subcategory and sales, that's why sales is showing here. So otherwise you cannot add a filter. So you can add the filter in the dashboard directly only for the field which is there. Okay. Highlight means just highlighting it. Show page control. So page control, so we'll see for only line charts. Okay, when you have multiple pages charts, you can click on line chart. So you can line chart, you can just go there and say page control. So you all you need to do is just drag and drop any field, for example, kind of order date or anything, right? So here you see this is page control. That means it will be moving. So that's all it is. So you see that for each year it is showing the data. If you want such kind of things, I mean, you can show. But apart from that, I mean, how is it of great use, right? So it's up to you anyway. So how to use it or not to use it, such kind of things. Anyway, so next is highlighters and show page control. So that's what it is. View toolbar. Toolbar means this we have seen in maps already. So again, I'm showing you. So here it is toolbar. So you can zoom in, right? If you want to zoom in, or if you want to zoom out, so you can do that. So zoom out like this. So or right, you can select some particular dimension members by using particular shape like this and give some annotations to it. Annotations are also there in the sheet level itself. You need not even add it here also. So either ways, I mean, right. So you can do it there itself, right? So you really need not right do it here. So that's how it is. So either ways, you can do it. Now, use as filter. Use as filter means whatever you click on this sheet, it will go as a filter to other two sheets in the same dashboard. So, right, use as filter means whatever you click on this sheet will go as a filter to other two sheets in the same dashboard. Okay, that is how it is. So, use as filter. So that means that so whatever you right click on here, for example, I'm clicking on copiers, that will go as a filter to other two sheets and filter the data and show you only with respect to copiers. So that is called as an action filter, which we will see in the next class, not now. Okay, so not now. So action filter, that is called as. Next, ignore actions. And so after creating actions, you can say you don't want to apply actions on this particular sheet. So you can click on ignore actions. Floating, moving around. So we'll see next. Select layout container. So you see here, you've got a border here only up to here because this is a vertical layout container. This is a horizontal layout container. So this is horizontal. So which is here, right? So this is horizontal. And if you see here, right? So this is vertical layout container. So this is different and that is different. So good. So here floating layout container, deselect it. So not don't select it. Remove from dashboard means remove from dashboard, right? Just simple delete it from the dashboard. So you can click here straight away and remove it, right? As simple as that. Okay, so these are right. These are options for horizontal layout container or for each sheet. When it comes to filter here, so you click here, so you see here edit filter option is there. Of course, most of these options we have seen already, right? All of these options we have seen already. And here, this box is new. So only this box is now. So what is that there? Floating, fixed height and edit height. So floating, fixed height and edit height. So floating, fixed height and edit height. So that's how it is. So you can click on floating. So fixed height and edit height. So these options are new here. So if you observe closely here, so floating, fixed height, edit height is here. And if you see here, right, I'm clicking here. So you see here, only floating is there. So for horizontal, there is nothing called as fixed height, edit height. But for vertical, there is something called as fixed height and edit height, right? So for vertical, this is how it is. For horizontal, right, there is nothing called as fixed height, edit height. So what is special about fixed height, edit height? Only in vertical layout containers that option is there. So what is special about that option, right? So I'll show you that now. So by going for vertical layout container. So by default, if you just add the sheets, it will go into horizontal layout container. So to avoid that case, I'll double click on vertical layout container like this. So I added a vertical layout container as you see here clearly. So this is a layout container. So vertical layout container. Now, so here you're seeing it. And of course I can add sheets here. So no problem. Now I can add double click on the sheets or right, otherwise it is fine. So what I'll do, so this is what I'll do. I'll just double click on the sheets and add it. Okay. So I can increase the width just to adjust the look and feel. Since it is vertical layout container, it is coming like this. Now you observe something, right? So you observe something here. So I'm deselecting the values here. Okay. So you're seeing that. You're observing what is happening. What happened here? So again, I'm doing. Of course, I'll select all. Right. So what is happening here? So if you see the same thing here, right, in horizontal. So you see here, whereas when it comes here. So here what is happening? The height of the sheet is changing dynamically based on the filter values which you are selecting. The height of the sheet, right? So I'll remove the title also. So then of course nobody knows whether that sheet is there or not, right? So you can assume that. So by selecting the filter options, you are showing the sheet, and by deselecting it, you are hiding the sheet. As simple as that. So show the sheet and hide the sheet. Show the sheet and hide the sheet, right? So that is how it is. So that's how it is. So either you can show the sheet or hide the sheet. So both are same, right? So that's how it is. So using this option you can do that only in vertical layout container, only through filter. So you can control that. So when you are right deselecting the values, that is when you are not selecting the data, what is happening? The sheet space is released for next sheet, and that next sheet is occupying that space. Whereas in horizontal layout container, it is not happening that way, right? So whatever you do, that space is not released for other sheets. Okay. So this is about vertical layout container. So for example, in real time, how you can use that is you can give yes or no here instead of all these filter options. So in filter options, how you can give yes or no? We have custom value list, if you remember, right? Custom value list. So is there. So by using that option, so you can do that, right? So by using that option, so you can give yes or no. So if user selects yes, show the chart. No, don't select the chart. As simple as that, right? So such kind of controlling you can do by using that, right? Vertical layout container. So this is only for vertical layout container, not for horizontal layout container. Next. So you can see the same options here also. So fixed height, edit height, right? So vertical layout container, so such kind of things. Now, just to show you other options. So here we have floating here. Floating. Floating, we have two types of floating. So you have to be very clear about this. So two types of floating are there. One is here, okay, and the other one is here. So here floating is there. So here floating is there, and here also floating is there. Okay, so that's how it is. So floating is here and floating is here. So both are there. Now, so this floating is different and that floating is different. First I'll show you what is this floating, then I'll go to that. Okay, for that I'm clearing this sheet dashboard. I cleared it. So now what I will do, so I'll go there and click on floating. When I am clicking on this floating, whatever object you drag and drop into the dashboard, so whatever object you add to the dashboard, that will be floating. Any object, that means, for example, I'm adding a sheet. So this is floating. So that sheet is floating. Oh, I didn't select filter options. So this sheet is floating. This filter is also floating. Now again, I add one more thing. I'm just double clicking. So what is happening here? So I'm just double clicking here. So you can see there clearly that everything is floating. So what you need to do? So you need to have good amount of patience. So sit and arrange each and everything properly, right? So to make sure that the dashboard looks proper, right? So all these things you have to take care on your own. So if it is floating like this, of course, arranging takes some creative skills and time also. So whenever you go for a dashboard, you should make sure that you use good number of charts, optimum number of charts, visualizations, so that you are not showing the less data, you are not showing more data. So don't show too much data, or congestion should not be there. Okay, and the information should be right. More information should be able to shown in less space or with a less number of charts and more interactivity. That is action filters. So that's how it is. So user should be able to interact with the data, of course, in the form of filter or parameter or through action filters, something like that. So then they will be very happy. Like they think that they are controlling it. Obvious, right? Human nature. So that's how it is. So this is floating. So now if you see in floating, so what I am able to do, I can move it around and place exactly where I want it. Exactly where I want. With the tiled also, you can move it around. So you can place this one here, but not exactly in the center if you want to, right? So you can move it. So here, if you can place it exactly where you want. So you can see here, sheets are here clearly. So these are all sheets here. So that's how it is, right? And filter here. So that's how it is. So everything is floating here. And so what is the major difference between floating and tile is you will get a corner arrow mark like this. That is, you can change the size, that is both width and height at a time. So that is just select it, right? So at a time you can do it. So whereas in tile you will not have it. So you see here, so there is no corner arrow mark, but only in floating. So you will get that corner arrow mark. Okay, good. So that is how it is. Okay, so that's how it is. So that is floating. Okay, so this is floating on all new objects. So that's how it is. Okay, so good then. So now I'm clearing the dashboard again. Okay, so I'm clearing the dashboard again now. So I'm clicking tile here. Okay, so I'll show you another floating. So another floating is for only objects which are already there in the dashboard, that is for existing objects. So you can go to layout and click on floating here. So that means you have to select the object first. So now it is active, you see. So if you click on that, again position, size, everything will get activated. So if you go here and say floating, that is also same. So this floating and this floating is same, but that floating is different. Okay, so that's how it is. So I clicked on, right, I'll click on floating. But what exactly is the purpose here? So if you see here, right, the exact purpose here is, right, one second. So the exact purpose here is, right, so you can move the filters or legends, such kind of things, and place exactly where you want. So that is the use of it. For example, right, so if you see here, right, so for example, I have some space here. I want to keep this legend here. So how can you do that? So for all such kind of things, so you can use, right, floating. So that's how it is. So once, so that's how it is. So what I'll do, so I can click here and go here and click floating and keep it exactly where you want. Okay, so like this you can place it. So that's how it is. Or no, current agenda. 1 minute, guys. So, right, so I can place it and move it and place it wherever I want exactly by using this floating. And so filter also, of course, any object I can move it and place it around, and I'll get a corner arrow mark. So for example, most of the people use drop down. So I'm using a list here. So most of the people use drop down and show the filter like this so that it will not occupy more space, right? So this way of look and feel is expected because in Tableau you don't see borders for each and every object. So client will not see that. He thinks that we are embedding that object in the sheet. We are embedding that object. So whenever you keep this filter here, for example, so here if you have space, right? So here you have space. So if you place it like this, right, your user thinks that, okay, this filter, so is embedded as part of dashboard, kind of look and feel. So that's how it is, right? So many people prefer this kind of look and feel, but if you're also interested, you can just do it drop down. That's all it is. It's a very simple thing. Anyway, so that is the use of this floating. Now I floated a filter, so and I floated this legend also. Just to show you an option here, only for legends you have an extra option called as arrange items. So only for, right? So here floating order, so here arrange items is there. So here it is. So this arrange items option is available only for, right, legends, color or size. So any one of them, of course, right? So color or size. So any one of them. So you can go there. So that's how it is. So either color or size, so arrange items, so you can write, so just arrange them. What does that mean exactly? For example, so when I'm clicking here, right, so for I'll just keep it list only. So this way, if you see here, only one column is there. Only unless until I increase the width, I can't see all values. But legend is not that way, right? If you change its size, right, you see that it is coming in multiple columns, or if you want it in multiple rows or multiple columns, so you can arrange it like that, right? So that is possible with the legends only, not with filters. Okay, so that option is available only for legends, not for filters. So that's how it is. Okay. Okay, so that's how it is. Of course I'll keep it drop down, no problem. So that's how it is. So this is only for legends, only in floating. Okay. So that is second type of floating. Now you see both the position and size both are activated. You can change it, but you don't need to give numbers at any point of time because you can just use it and write this corner arrow mark and just adjust its width, height. So all those things you can do, right? So now another useful advantage of having that floating is, right, to show you that I'll do a couple of control Z here. So come on, come on. Okay, so I'll just okay, I'll just change it from drop down to list of values. Okay, for example, so I have a dashboard like this. So you will come up with some requirement. Your client will say, see, so I need this filter, but I don't want this sheet. So where is this filter coming from? This filter is coming from this sheet only. So you will say directly, I want this filter to be applied on other two sheets in the same dashboard, but I don't want this sheet. Yes, no problem. Directly go here and click on in that into mark, cross mark. So it will get deleted from this dashboard. But what is happening? Along with that, that filter also got removed. You don't want the filter to be removed. So you want the filter in the dashboard. So how can you do that? So you can't remove a sheet without removing the filter. So what can you do here? So directly hide the title. Go here and click on floating and reduce its size so small that nobody even recognizes or realizes that. So you go there, right, and keep it to the bottom like this. So still reduce its size. Wait 1 second. So small like this, right? That's it. Done. So you are done that way, right? So now nobody knows whether that sheet is there or not. But to apply the filter on other sheets, So you have that sheet in the dashboard. So that is how it is, right? So you can use floating this way also. So that can also be done. So that's how it is. Next, next here, so we have dashboard components. Before going to dashboard components, so before going to dashboard components, for example, right? So dashboard components. So if you just double click on text, image, web page, so whatever it is, I want to show you one thing. Tableau from 10 version onwards, they are providing you this device preview. Device preview. What is device preview? I'm clicking on it. So what is device preview? Here, if you see here, right, you can choose some device. That means your user might be using tablets, desktop, laptops, phones. I mean, they can see the dashboards however they want it. So based on that device, you can see how the dashboards fit into that device. And not only that, so before I click on device preview, you are seeing a lot of empty space here, right? I don't want that space go waste. I want to utilize it. So how can you do that, right? So I'll show you both of them at a time. Now, so you can click on the device, so you can see if it is tablet and if it is this width, so you can see the dashboard in the tablet like this. Now, so apart from that, for example, you want to click on dash desktop, so you can see that. So desktop, it is width, you can see that. So this much empty space is there. This much empty space, and height also, of course, a lot of space is left. So your dashboard is not fitting the desktop. So you have to increase its width, right? So you have to increase its width. So you can go there, right? You can go here and increase the width, no problem. So like this, you can increase the height and width. So to an extent, it is occupied. So some more space is there. So I can just increase it and do it. Or if you're right, I mean, user is using phone or something, then it is very difficult. So you can see here, this is phone, for example. So this is iPhone, Samsung, right? So various phones, of course, in US. So you can see that. So that's how it is, right? So that is how it is. So you can see that the right size is like that. So your dashboard need to fit according to that. Of course, you can change the size here and you can do it, no problem, right? So this is the feature which is added from 10 version. Before 10 version, that option was not there. Okay, so that's how it is. Now the point here is, right, so now the point here is, you need not do all those things. These looks very fancy, right? So this looks very fancy. Wow, I can change the dashboard height, width according to that particular device. So it is so good, right? I'm happy with this look and feel. But what is the use? Totally waste. Why? Why? So I'll remove that. I removed it and I have some empty space here. So how can I adjust its width and height? No problem. Don't do all these things, right? Do only one thing. That is, you go here and click on automatic, right? So just click on automatic. That's all done, right? So click on automatic and we are done. So you see here, there is no scroll bar here or here. So it is exactly fit. No empty space, nothing. Now you go to device preview, you select on whatever. So you see that tablet, no empty space. You click on phone, it will automatically adjust the size, width, everything. All right, you need not do anything. Okay, so you need not do anything. Now you see it is fully occupied, no empty space, nothing, right? It is exactly fitting the borders. So that is a very simple option. Unnecessarily don't make things complex, right? So Tableau has given you an extra piece, right? So extra opportunity option here, but not of great use. Why should you use it? Really not needed. So that's why don't use it. So you can go for fixed or range. So all these things are there, but not needed. Automatic is the best option. It will automatically fit to the screen where you are opening the dashboard. So nothing to worry, right? So this is best option. So don't believe in this device, do all these things, that is nonsense. Anyway, so that's how it is. So right, so that is device preview and automatic. Next thing, so we have dashboard components here. So that means which will be part of your dashboard. So part of your dashboard, if you just double click on text, for example, right, it will become part of your dashboard. So what I'll do here, so I'll go there. So for example, you want to give some sample descriptions or dashboard headings, right? So dashboard headings, right, for all such kind of things. Or you can say, right, sales versus profit analysis. Or if you see here, mostly subcategory wise analysis is there. So subcategory timely sales, right? Just add something out of you, right? Meaningful one. Add something means doesn't, right? Don't do that. So add something like this: bold, italic, colors. I mean, whatever color you want. So maybe green. So just click OK. Done. What? Where is the heading? Where is the heading? Right? Where is it gone? So remember this. Remember this. Text will always go to the bottom of the vertical layout container. I'm audible, right? So text will always go to the bottom of the layout container, vertical layout container. So it will always go to the bottom of the vertical layout container. So it is always, right? It will always go to the bottom of the vertical layout container, which is here. So remember that, okay? So it will always go to the bottom of the vertical layout container. So that is how it is. So you need to float it. So go there and click on floating. Anything you can float, anything which is there in your dashboard can be floated. So just float it around, increase its size, width. So how you want to place it? If it is right heading, such kind of things, you have to place it like this. If it is description, you have to place it properly. So you can place accordingly. So without floating, you can't get it. So text will always go to the bottom of the vertical layout container. Okay. So that's how it is. Now, next image. Image is, of course, you can just double click on it and add it. Image is very much needed, right? So image is very much needed for especially, whenever you want to add logos, right? I'll add some koila or koila only, or maybe penguins, right? So peaceful images. You click on floating, you see that you're not seeing the complete picture. So click on floating and go there. Click on floating. So now you see you're seeing the complete image there. If it is logo, try to reduce its size to so small that it fits exactly there, right? So try to fit here, right? If it is logo, if it is not that way, right, go here again, right, increase its width, height, so all these things, right? So here it is. So go there, right, pick image is there, so you can copy paste the image, no problem. So you can pick it here and paste it somewhere else, right? Picked it. So it is asking me where I can save it. Of course it is there, right? So next is right, fit image, center obviously. So this is center image in that box itself. Set URL means, for example, you are clicking somewhere in other dashboard and you want to come to this image or in this dashboard, so you can give that URL right to the image, so you can use it that way, right? That can also be done. Next is a floating order, bring to frames, all those things. So deselect and remove from dashboard. So this is image, right? So this is image, and next thing is web page. Web page is a live web page. See, these images mostly we add for logos only. So reduce the size and keep it here properly before beside the dashboard heading. Okay, so that's how you do. Next is, of course, I mean, web page here. So web page is, it is a live web page. Live web page, that means it will be part of your dashboard component. So this is dashboard component, that is, it is part of your dashboard. So where is it? Taking time, coming up. Am I audible or am I shouting on my own?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, you can hear me, right? Okay, good. So this is how it is. So we can float this, right? This one also, of course, place it exactly where you want it. So of course I can increase its width, all those things. So this is a live web page. You can add company's website, right? So for example, so all these things you can do. Or if you want to click on images or photos, I mean Google Plus, I mean whatever you want. So this is a live web page, right? So that's how it is. Okay, so that is how you can have it. Oof, no back button. Maybe fi is also not there. Too much, yeah. Right? Okay, so I'll add a live web page. I'm not able to refresh it. So generate a live web page. So I'll add one more time. So it has broken down. So this is a live web page. Of course, you can float it around and place it wherever you want. So increase its size, width, all those things. Generally, you will place a company website which will contain some images or pictures, such kind of things. So you can place it there, which will be changing dynamically, right? So or you can just try to do something Tableau, right? Training or meaning, so whatever it is, right? So such kind of things you can do. So that is how it is. So this is a live web page. So that's how it is. Okay, so that's what Tableau is saying from first version onwards. You need not be brilliant to understand your data, right? So that's what Tableau is saying. Anyway, so that's how it is. So web page. Blank is blank. You have white space here also. So or you can create an empty sheet and add it to dashboard also. So that will be also a blank. So I never understood the purpose of blank here. And of course I am saying this in every class also. So right, blank is blank. So what is the exact purpose of blank? Even I don't know, because I never understood what is the purpose of a blank here. So because it doesn't show borders anyway, so you can't edit the borders in W. So apart from that, what is the use of it? I don't know. So that's how it is. So blank, so blank obviously, so there is nothing there. Okay, so that is blank. Okay, got it. So these are some features in dashboard. So story also we have here. Story totally waste, not all useful, right? So when we see action filters in the next class, I'll show you what is story here. Okay, so here it is. So you can just add some dashboard or anything here and just give some title to it. So it doesn't add any value, so that's the point. So it doesn't have any extra features here, no extra options here. So all those things are not there. Okay, so all those things are not there. So that's the reason generally we don't go for story in W, except when you are doing POC. So if you are doing a POC, that is proof of concept, so you need to show to the client this is how it is, this is possible, this is not possible, all those things. Only then you need to go for this. Otherwise, what is the use of this, right? Not all needed. So that's why, right? So not needed. So but if you think, I mean, right, so you, right, you need to go for it, go for it. But no other option apart from this, right? Nothing else. So this is story. Dashboard is better because we can apply action filters, all those options are there, features, all those things. User will not see this. Up to here you will not see, you'll see only dashboard. Okay, like a full screen like this. So you'll be seeing like this. So you should not keep empty spaces like this. This is very bad way of developing dashboards, which I did, right? So you should not give empty space like this to your user. So that shows that you don't have anything to show, or so what you did is wrong, right? Clearly. So don't do that. Okay, so this is dashboard in action. In the next class we'll see action filters. So any questions, doubts? Clear? Proceed. Good. So fine then. So we'll close this here. So next class tomorrow we'll continue. Okay, so that's all, right? Okay then. So if you are practicing, right, keep practicing. So I'll teach our class, so maybe this weekend or so. So So when you teach server class, so I'll tell you, right, your questions, doubts, all those things. Okay. And apart from that, so until now, so I didn't get any, right, so payments or anything from your institutes. So I don't know, right, whether I'm not able to even, right, contact them now. They're not responding. So let's see what happens. So I might need your help there. Maybe unless until you push things.
Contact the institute and ask them to mention about this so that
I think not needed. If you do that, they'll kill me. Really. Because since training is going to get completed, they'll just say, right, what you can do to, right, such kind of things. It will go awkward.
no, we won't do anything like that.
No need, no need, no, those guys are okay. So no need. Okay, I'm just informing you. I'll send a mail, so I need to wait for a long time. That's pretty obvious. 1-2 months at least. No problem. So that's not a big deal. So I'll see in future if I need your help. I'll send a mail. So right. So anyway, thank you. So you keep practicing.